Now, in the last few minutes, Greater Manchester Police has announced that Angela Rayner will face no further police action following an investigation into her tax affairs. And the Labour deputy leader had previously said that she would resign if police found that she had broken the law. This is literally broken in the last 15 minutes, and the statement ends by saying Greater Manchester Police has liaised with Stockport Council and information about our investigation has been shared with them. Details of our investigation have also been shared with His Majesty's Revenue and Customs, HMRC. But the force adds that matters involving council tax and personal tax do not fall into the jurisdiction of policing, and details, as I just discussed, have been shared with HMRC. So this is now a tax matter, not a police matter. They say they have completed a thorough, carefully considered and proportionate investigation, with officers concluding that no further police action will be taken. Now, this was obviously a huge electoral talking point coming up. They were hoping in the Labour Party, we announced yesterday, that this will be concluded before the general election. It's been concluded the very next day. This is a big breaking political news story, and I'm now joined by GBNews' political editor, Chris Hope. Chris, welcome to the show. You've been out on the campaign trail today. You're back now with us in London. I understand this is a huge story, and this will be one that will be very, very comforting to the Labour Party. A big story being put to bed.
Martin, and good afternoon. Yeah, I've been with Rachel Reeves, the Shadow Chancellor, and Sir Keir Starmer up in Derby at the Rolls-Royce plant. They have a zen-like calm around them at the moment, the Labour Party, but not saying much. They say change as their big idea, but they're not wanting to change anything at all. Instead, the Change Party appears to be the Tory party with its ideas recently about the national service policy that came out with young people being told to do some kind of voluntary service or face penalty. And then overnight we have this triple lock ensuring that if you are receiving a state pension, you will not pay income tax at any point in the next 5 years if the Tories win power again. But Labour are not matching that at all, and that's quite interesting, I think. It shows how the party there is trying to make sure it makes no unfunded commitments. I have interviewed Rachel Reeves for your programme, Martin. The interview goes out at 5 o'clock. But earlier we heard from Rachel Reeves. She was saying how that she wants taxes to be lower, but she's not going to go anywhere near the idea of guaranteeing that pensioners will not pay income tax if Labour is re-elected. Also, news from her was there'll be no budget if Labour win power for 10 weeks. They want to give the Office of Budget Responsibility any veto or checks on any Labour policy, which means there'll be no budget until September, October time. But it's a very confident speech from Rachel Reeves. That's someone who thinks that she has found her voice. But the concern, I think, I did detect a degree of frustration that Labour, the Tory party, is chucking around all sorts of ideas in the way that Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party did back in 2019. But Labour, as the clear front runner, 20 points ahead, can't do that, and they're sticking very tightly to any only funded announcements. And I can only imagine the pressure on her privately from other parts of the Labour movement, but she's holding firm at the moment.
And on to the matter of the Angela Rayner inquiry, just broken in the last few moments. Chris, Greater Manchester Police concluding that no further police action will take place. There could still be a tax issue. This isn't necessarily dead and buried as a story, but this is now a tax matter. HMRC over allegations of a amount of tax which may or may not have been owed or paid historically over the selling of houses. But for today, Chris, this is no longer a police matter. And of course, Ms. Rayner said that she would resign if the police concluded she was guilty. That's no longer now the case.
That's right, a big boost here for Angela Rayner, the deputy leader. Don't forget the row was whether when she sold her home in 2015 was any kind of capital gain tax due. And there's an investigation going on, we understand, from Stockport Council and HMRC. So of the three investigations, including Greater Manchester Police, the police have now said there's no further action. But they are talking to HMRC and Stockport Council. She's not out of the woods yet, and it might appear that they might share anything they have found from interviewing neighbours about where she was living at the time, whether any tax is due. But for now, a huge boost, I think, at the beginning of this campaign for Angela Rayner.
Okay, super. So thanks for bringing us up to speed, Chris. Thank you for speaking to Rachel Reeves. Look forward to seeing that interview on the show round about 5 o'clock. Great to have you back in London.